Rebecca Romney became widely recognized by television audiences through her appearances as a rare book expert on the History Channel's Pawn Stars. On the show, she was presented as a calm, highly knowledgeable specialist, capable of quickly evaluating rare manuscripts, early printed works, and historically significant texts. One memorable moment that helped define her public persona involved her assessing a rare book at approximately $40,000, delivered with a composed demeanor and a touch of humor that suggested the seller might thank her with chocolate for the favorable appraisal. This combination of precision, restraint, and wit made her stand out in a program often driven by negotiation drama. Viewers came to associate her with credibility and intellectual authority, and Rick Harrison's trust in her evaluations further reinforced her reputation. Her presence added a scholarly dimension to the show, bridging entertainment with the serious world of antiquarian book collecting. Early life and academic foundations. Rebecca Romney was born on April 6, 1985, in Phoenix, Arizona, and grew up with a strong inclination toward languages and intellectual exploration. From an early age, she displayed a fascination with how language shapes meaning and preserves history, which later became central to her career. She pursued higher education at Brigham Young University, where she studied philosophy and classical studies. Her academic path exposed her to ancient texts, logical reasoning, and linguistic analysis, all of which sharpened her ability to interpret complex written materials. She graduated with honors, having immersed herself in subjects that required both analytical thinking and interpretive skill. Rather than following a straightforward career path, her education positioned her at the intersection of humanities and historical research, laying the groundwork for her eventual entry into the rare book trade, even though she did not initially anticipate working in that field professionally. Mastery of languages and intellectual curiosity. A defining aspect of Romney's background is her exceptional command of languages, which includes English, French, Japanese, Latin, Ancient Greek, and Old English. This linguistic versatility was not only an academic achievement but also a practical asset that would later distinguish her in the rare book world. Her ability to read and interpret texts across multiple languages allowed her to engage directly with historical manuscripts in their original form, an essential skill in authenticating and evaluating rare works. Her intellectual curiosity extended beyond language into broader cultural and philosophical inquiry, making her particularly well-suited for analyzing the historical significance of printed works. This multilingual foundation gave her a unique advantage in a field where understanding provenance, translation accuracy, and textual variation can dramatically affect valuation. It also reinforced her reputation as someone capable of handling complex, high-value material with both scholarly depth and careful attention to detail. Unexpected entry into the rare book trade. Romney's entry into the rare book industry was largely accidental, beginning when she applied for a position at Bauman Rare Books, mistakenly believing the role was related to general management rather than specialized antiquarian expertise. Upon realizing the nature of the job, she nearly withdrew from the interview, assuming she lacked the necessary background. However, her linguistic abilities and intellectual confidence impressed the company enough that she was offered the position despite her limited formal experience in rare books. Once inside the field, she quickly adapted, learning the nuances of book collecting, historical valuation, and manuscript authentication. This unexpected transition marked a turning point in her career, as she discovered a professional environment that aligned closely with her academic strengths. What began as a misunderstanding evolved into a defining opportunity, setting her on a trajectory toward becoming one of the most recognized figures in the rare book trade. Professional growth and rising responsibility. After joining Bauman Rare Books, Romney advanced rapidly due to her analytical skills and ability to handle complex, high-value materials. Within a relatively short period, she was entrusted with evaluating and managing significant works, including early editions of Shakespeare, pages from the Gutenberg Bible, and first editions of Isaac Newton's Principia. By 2010, she had taken on a leadership role overseeing the company's Las Vegas gallery, where she was responsible for both client relations and rare inventory management. Her rise continued, and by 2013 she had become one of the youngest senior directors in the company's history. This progression reflected not only her expertise but also her ability to navigate a highly specialized market that demands both scholarly precision and commercial awareness. Her work helped bridge the gap between academic bibliographic study and the practical realities of rare book collecting and sales. Television career and public appraisal work. Romney's transition into television came after Rick Harrison invited her to appear on Pawn Stars as a rare book expert. Her role involved evaluating manuscripts and printed works brought into the pawn shop, often under tight time constraints and with high financial stakes. Her calm demeanor and methodical analysis made her a standout presence on the show, where dramatic negotiations often dominated the format. Over time, she appeared in nearly 20 episodes between 2011 and 2015, becoming the program's primary authority for book-related appraisals. Her contributions included identifying forgeries, confirming authentic historical documents, and providing market valuations grounded in real-world rare book expertise. Viewers appreciated her balanced approach, which combined academic rigor with accessible explanations. This visibility helped elevate public awareness of the rare book trade, introducing a broader audience to the complexities of manuscript authentication and historical valuation. Memorable appraisals and audience impact. Throughout her time on Pawn Stars, Romney participated in several notable appraisals that contributed to her reputation as a trusted expert. She evaluated rare literary works, including early editions of On the Origin of Species and other historically significant texts, some valued at tens of thousands of dollars. In one instance, she helped identify a forged Shakespeare folio, demonstrating the importance of detailed textual analysis and historical knowledge in detecting inauthentic works. Another memorable moment involved assisting with the appraisal of a signed Charles Lindbergh autobiography, where her assessment influenced the final negotiation outcome. These appearances resonated with audiences because they combined educational insight with the suspense of real financial stakes. Her calm and precise explanations helped demystify the rare book market, turning complex bibliographic evaluations into engaging television moments that highlighted both scholarship and commerce. Book of Mormon episode and circulating speculation. One of the more widely discussed episodes involving Romney centered on a rare 1841 edition of the Book of Mormon, which she reportedly valued at around $40,000. During the episode, the final sale price was negotiated down to approximately $24,000, consistent with the show's typical bargaining structure. Afterward, online speculation emerged suggesting that the book may have been connected to a theft from the University of Utah's Marriott Library, and rumors circulated about possible FBI involvement. However, these claims remained unverified in public records and were never formally confirmed by authorities or the show's producers. Over time, such speculation contributed to online confusion and narrative distortion surrounding the episode. Despite this, there were no public charges or official statements implicating Romney in any wrongdoing, and the situation largely remained a matter of internet rumor rather than established fact. Departure from television and career transition. By January 2015, Romney had largely stepped away from regular appearances on Pawn Stars, marking the end of her most visible television period. Her departure was not publicly explained in detail, which contributed to speculation among fans, but professionally she continued to focus on her rare book career. She returned to working full-time in the antiquarian trade, shifting her attention back to private collecting, appraisal, and consultancy work. Rather than maintaining a media presence, she chose to deepen her involvement in the scholarly and commercial aspects of rare books. This transition reflected a broader professional trajectory in which her television exposure served as one phase of her career rather than its defining endpoint. Her decision reinforced her identity primarily as a bookseller and scholar rather than a media personality. Founding of Type Punch Matrix and continued leadership. After relocating to Washington, D.C., Romney co-founded Type Punch Matrix in 2019, a rare book firm focused on antiquarian texts, manuscripts, and historically significant printed works. The company reflects her continued commitment to combining scholarly expertise with the practical demands of the rare book market. In this role, she has been involved in sourcing, evaluating, and preserving important works, while also advising collectors and institutions. Her leadership in the firm represents a continuation of her long-standing engagement with the preservation of literary history. By establishing her own company, she moved beyond employment within established firms to shaping the direction of her field more directly. This entrepreneurial step allowed her to integrate her academic background, professional experience, and personal vision for how rare books should be studied and traded in the modern era. Writing, publishing, and cultural contributions. Beyond her work in rare books, Romney has also developed a career as a writer and editor, contributing to the broader cultural understanding of literary history. She co-authored Printer's Error in 2017, a book that explores the history and quirks of printed works, highlighting how mistakes, variations, and anomalies can reveal deeper truths about publishing history. Later, she published Jane Austen's Bookshelf in 2025, which examined lesser-known women writers who influenced Jane Austen's literary development. Through these works, she has contributed to reshaping how readers understand the interconnectedness of literary history and the often overlooked figures behind canonical authors. In addition to writing, she has supported initiatives aimed at encouraging women